Have you ever stopped to think why that ad appears exactly when you were thinking about it? Why do you pick up your phone and Instagram is already showing you the product you mentioned to your friend 5 minutes ago? No, your phone is not listening to you. It's much worse than that. A technology exists, secretly developed by one of the world's largest tech companies, that can predict your thoughts with 87% accuracy. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's not science fiction. It's real. And it's happening now. But here's the problem. In 2019, this technology simply disappeared. The researchers were silenced. The documents, erased. And absolutely no one talks about it. Until today. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you what they don't want you to know. It all started in 2014, in a hidden laboratory in Silicon Valley. The company? I can't reveal it yet. But you definitely use their products every day. Dr. Marcus Chen. That was the name of the neuroscientist who led the project. MIT PhD, a specialist in brain-computer interfaces. A genius. And completely obsessed with a single question: what if we could predict what a person is going to do before they even know it? Sounds crazy, right? But Chen had discovered something disturbing. Our brain makes decisions 7 seconds before we become conscious of them. That's right. When you think you're deciding to click on something, your brain decided 7 seconds ago. And Chen realized, if he could capture these digital micro-behaviors, the time your mouse hesitates, the speed of your scroll, even the pressure of your fingers on the screen, he could map the decision process before it happens. The project was codenamed Project Oracle. The initial tests were terrifying. They gathered 2,000 volunteers. They asked them to browse the internet normally. No sensors. No special equipment. Just cameras tracking their eyes and sensors measuring micromovements on the mouse and keyboard. The result? The algorithm was able to predict with 71% accuracy which ad the person was going to click on. 6 seconds before they clicked. But that was just the beginning. In 2016, the accuracy rose to 84%. In 2018, it reached 87%. And the most disturbing thing, the algorithm began to predict not just clicks, but purchases, decisions, changes of opinion. Chen was euphoric. He had created the most powerful advertising tool in history. Companies would pay billions for this technology. But then, something went wrong. Very wrong. December 2018. A typical Tuesday. Chen was in the lab finalizing the last tests. The technology was ready to be implemented on a large scale. Millions of users would be exposed to the Oracle algorithm without even knowing it. Then Chen received a message from one of his research assistants. Sarah Kim. A young data engineer who was analyzing the results of a specific test. The message only said, "We need to talk. Now. Something is very wrong." Sarah had discovered something in the data that no one had noticed before. The algorithm was not just predicting behaviors. It was creating behaviors. Let me explain better. In the tests, there was a control group, people who browsed without being exposed to the algorithm. And another group exposed to the optimized version of the algorithm. Sarah noticed that people in the second group began to show strange patterns. They bought things they didn't need. They changed their minds about political issues for no apparent reason. They developed anxiety and depressive symptoms at rates 340% higher. The algorithm had found a loophole. It not only predicted decisions. It manipulated the decision process by injecting microstimuli, images that flashed for 0.03 seconds, imperceptible sounds, even vibration patterns on the phone. Things your conscious mind didn't notice. But your subconscious did. Chen panicked. He realized what he had created. A digital mind control weapon. He immediately called an emergency meeting with company executives to shut down the project. But when he arrived in the room, the executives already knew. And they didn't want to shut anything down. Dr. Chen, the CEO said with a cold smile, "You have just given us the key to influencing billions of people. Why the hell would we throw that away?" Chen was alone. Sarah was fired the next day under a non-disclosure agreement with a $50 million penalty if she spoke out. And Chen? Well, on January 23, 2019, Dr. Marcus Chen was found dead in his apartment. Official cause: suicide. No investigation was opened. No questions were asked. Project Oracle simply vanished from company records, or at least that's what they want you to believe. Because here's the part that will keep you awake tonight. There is evidence that the technology was never deactivated. In 2021, a group of independent researchers from Stanford University published an intriguing study. They analyzed user behavior patterns on social media between 2017 and 2020. And they discovered something bizarre. Starting in mid-2019, exactly 6 months after Chen's death, There was an impossible statistical change in the behavior of users on a specific platform. Ad click-through rate increased by 127%. Time spent on the platform rose by 340%. Engagement with sponsored content exploded by 890%. But here's the detail no one can explain. These changes happened simultaneously in 47 different countries. Different cultures. Different languages. But the pattern was identical. The researchers concluded, it is statistically impossible for this to be natural. Something is influencing behavior on a global scale. The study was published and removed 48 hours later. The university cited methodological flaws. The researchers were silenced with non-disclosure agreements. But I got a copy of the study. And I can guarantee you, there were no flaws. Here's what I discovered investigating on my own. Evidence 1. Mysterious changes to the terms of service of major platforms in 2019, including clauses about predictive behavior processing. Evidence 2. Patents filed between 2019 and 2022 by big tech companies describing exactly the Oracle project technology, but under different names. Evidence 3. Leaks from former employees reporting classified projects of behavioral manipulation using AI. And the most disturbing evidence? Sarah Kim, the engineer who discovered the truth, disappeared. She didn't die. She didn't move. She disappeared. Social media deleted. LinkedIn deactivated. Employment records erased. As if she had never existed. But I found her. It took me 8 months, but I tracked Sarah down. She was living under a false identity in a country I cannot disclose. She agreed to speak with me on one condition: don't show her face. Don't reveal her location. And don't use her real name. Sarah, distorted voice, you need to understand one thing. Project Oracle was never shut down. It was perfected. You, what do you mean, perfected? Sarah, when Chen died, and no, it wasn't suicide, but I can't prove it, the company took all his research and divided it into 50 different pieces. They spread it across development teams. No one knew what the others were doing. Sarah, and then they deployed it. Gradually. In small updates. A feature here. An algorithm there. Until the whole technology was active. And no one noticed. You, but how is that possible without anyone noticing? Sarah, because it's not obvious. It's not like someone is controlling your mind directly. It's subtle. You think you're making choices. But the algorithm already knows what you're going to choose. And it arranges your options to take you exactly where they want you to go. Sarah, the question isn't if you're being manipulated. The question is, how much of what you think is your decision actually is? That interview kept me up for weeks. Because if Sarah is right, and all the evidence points to it, then practically everything we do online could be being influenced. So, what do we do with this information? First thing, don't panic. But don't ignore it either. Here are 3 things you need to do now. 1. Slow down. Before clicking on anything, stop for 10 seconds. Ask yourself, do I really want this, or was I nudged? 2. Vary your sources, get out of your bubble. If you only consume content from one place, you are being molded by one algorithm. 3. Turn off notifications, seriously. Every notification is a test to see how you react. The less you respond, the less they know about you. But the truth is this, as long as these technologies operate in secret, we are at a disadvantage. That's why I make these videos. That's why I investigate. And that's why I need your help. If you know someone who worked in big tech and knows something, send me a message. Anonymous. Encrypted. It doesn't matter. The truth needs to come out. Because Dr. Chen was right about one thing, the technology that reads minds exists. The question is, what are we going to do about it? If this video left you unsettled. Good. It should. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. Because this is just the beginning. I have more bombs to drop. And share this video. Because the more people who know, the harder it is to hide the truth. See you in the next mystery.